Hey y'all, how you doing? I'm in Charlotte today and gonna go visit a site. This is the kind of thing that happens in my world. I guess in everybody's world, things decay and degrade. And what I wanted to talk about is just more evidence that this world is fake. It is perhaps a cosmic amusement park for our pleasure, perhaps, or it's a trap, whatever you want. Let me tell you about last week. I was in New York. This is Midtown Manhattan, around Fifth Avenue, where that, it's not far from that museum in Night of the Museum. So I was trying to get to the location I wanted to when I picked up a rental car from LaGuardia. And the Google Maps took me, I mean, you got to get across that river to get out of New York and start moving north, but it routed me through the city like this. Not what I intended, not exactly what I would call fun, but we can check that one off the bucket list now and say, yep, I drove in New York in crazy traffic. And I guess I'm glad I had the experience, but it was kind of funny. There was see this bus here as we continued up the road. This bus was stopped and a cab driver was stopped in front of me. There was no emergency flasher on, there was nothing. They were just stopped. And there was a light up ahead, and they were within maybe 2 car lengths of that light. And it turned green and they weren't going nowhere. The bus driver seemed to be looking over at the cab. The cab driver was out of his car, standing in front of it. I didn't know what was going on. Now, when the light was red, all that oncoming traffic had stopped, but you still had to worry about those left turners coming from the other street there. But I decided to jet on out with my little rental into the oncoming traffic lane and get around them. And when I did that, everybody behind me, was right on my bumper to do the same. But apparently, the cab driver in front of me, this isn't the cab driver, this was an earlier shot, but he must have bumped into a pedestrian as they were crossing because I saw this one fella sitting on the ground and the cab driver looking at him, 2 Indian fellas, and I just said, "Yep, this is New York." I was glad to get out of there. I've decided the next time I go to New York, I'm not gonna rent my car from the Avis in LaGuardia. I'm gonna get out of town. I'm gonna take a Uber or something to New Jersey and rent from there. But anyway, fun experiences in travel. That's been nice. So what's the point of this video? So the point is none of this is real. See these stairs here? These are some stairs at one of my facilities. And they've been rotting away for the last 20 years, getting used every day by people that are at the facility. All the while, this is what they look to the average person. They look fine. I mean, they're a little bad shape, but you just walk down them day in, day out. Underneath the underbelly is completely rusting out. And this has been going on for 20 years. So when I got to this job and to this site, one of my guys that I had looking at, maintenance things said, Scott, you got a real problem here. These stairs, they got to get replaced. And they're expensive. It's like $14,000 to replace these things. I'm like, great, just add that to my list of many things I need to get done. Now, you would think that since these things have been this way for 20 years, have been getting used, that I would have a little time to, you know, get to it, add it to the list, right? But so many times this has happened in reality. So many times this has happened to me that before I have a chance to implement the solution, this would be the solution. Before I have a chance to get to it, or perhaps you could say, if I had acted quicker when I first was aware of it, I might have been able to prevent a problem. But I was made aware of this 2 or 3 weeks before the steps finally gave out on somebody. Somebody was walking up them and they just, the concrete just right on through. The rusty underbelly of it just gave way. They weren't hurt, mind you. They weren't injured. But the fact that I was aware that this was a potential problem, that these things had been in place for 20 years, and then shortly after it's brought to my attention, they of course they fail. I have had that scenario happen in my life over and over and over. Something is brought to my attention, and of course it fails, or something breaks, or something goes wrong, only because I didn't act on it quick enough. And it's just all the time. And it's one more little proof that whatever this game is that we're in, that's one of the signs that it's a game, is that this stuff just happens. And now, of course, that the stairs broke and somebody was almost hurt, I've got everybody breathing down my neck to get this fixed immediately. It's this tremendous sense of urgency that this amusement park loves to create, this drama, this excitement, this, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Scott, you've got to get this fixed. This is reality. Old stairs and new stairs. By the way, is the heart moving back to where it used to be? Is it going to the, where is it the left side? I guess it depends on which way you're facing, but if you're looking right at them, it's the right. Is the heart moving over? I just saw this in a movie. Somebody shot through apparently the heart, and that's where they showed it. Even this picture, I remember 8 years ago, it seemed to be a lot more centered. Seems like things are just sliding over. It could just be me, but it just seems like this thing's making a little shift there. I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm just throwing that out there. What else do we have? Oh, this is, I don't know if I mentioned this. I captured this screen from the show Antimatter 5. Stupid show, don't watch it. But 5 minutes in, roughly 5 minutes in, the guy quotes from Jaws. Of course, he quotes it the old way, not the way it is now. He says, "We're going to need a bigger boat," instead of "you're going to need a bigger boat." Interesting little, residual I thought I'd share. So anyway, in Charlotte today, and going to take a look at the facility here, and things are going well. Lots of fun. I'm eating out too much, though. I need to slow down on the eating out. But always, just having the experiences. There's fun with that. This was certainly an experience to have once, but I don't want to. I don't want to drive through New York again. That was a good one-time experience, and that's all. So I hope you have fun in the Matrix today, in this non-real life, and when everybody's screaming down your neck to get stairs replaced, remember that none of it's real to begin with. If it were real, the stairs wouldn't have broke 2 or 3 weeks after I discovered there was an issue. If this place were real, those stairs would have just kept lasting for another year or so. But no, because this is the Matrix, all these things present themselves to me right before something goes wrong. And of course, I never act on it in time. That's just part of the script. And I don't care. That's fine. It's fine with me. It doesn't bother me. It's just part of the script. Anyway, y'all have a great day, and God bless.